You are live. Okay. Oh shit! First time doing this. I'm sorry, guys. I never did the whole countdown where it goes dun 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 dun. And fuck, it, I'm not gonna do a big introduction. I had to bring two people in off the bat, and this is just basically us freestyling for like a half hour. And I know my buddy Enzo, he'll talk for 6 hours if I fucking let him, because that's what he does. And I just hit the year mark and just want to tell everybody like, holy shit, it's been a year. But two people I had to bring in off the bat was my buddy Russell Dark Hour whenever he gets here, because he was the first person I did a live stream with, and then I had to bring in this next guy, which is, I love the fucking name where it's Lord of Toxicity here, Wes, and I'm so fucking happy to have Wes here because Wes is our leader of the Critical Drinker group, and we've said it a million times, like, guys, you think this shit's easy? It is a fucking hassle. It's a part-time job, and if I ever get big enough, I will never make my own YouTube page, Facebook page after this shit Wes is showing me. So, and I got to bring Enzo in. So, but
oh yeah,
man.
So, yeah, I gotta say, 2 celebration streams in 2 days. Yeah. How great is that?
What a fucking
that's crazy.
Brand new bottle of Jack Honey. So,
oh yeah, I got some Jack.
Of course you do.
Jack and Coke.
So yeah, I told you, Wes. After like last night, Commando was fun, but after the massive echo effect, there he is. So.
Got me?
It's fucking the legend himself. Shit.
Look who it is. Mr. 100,000 subscribers himself.
100,000 my ass. Dude, I just lost like 100 of them. They probably got put into like
shit.
Nah, it actually happens quite often.
Yeah.
They get like put into like a if you get a lot at once, they basically get put into a like a holding section, like, oh, are these legit? And then they like go through them periodically.
It could also be like, you know, surely you get like 1,000 new subscribers in a day.
Yeah,
because the drinker tells them to. I'm sure a handful of them will be like, you know what, stay for me.
Yeah.
I feel like it happens.
I very seldom unsubscribe to anything. If I find something
me too,
I like,
but I rarely subscribe to anything. I'm one of those motherfuckers where it's just I just search things like
if somebody pops off and they're in a stream or they just do a random video that gets recommended to me, I'll follow them pretty quickly. So
I subscribe to the homies.
Yeah, you gotta subscribe to the homies, man, big time.
We're already live. I didn't even realize.
Oh yeah,
7 sharp.
Yeah. Well, Russ, I didn't know how to do the whole fucking dun 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 because you've done this.
I can tell you how to do that. It's in settings.
Yeah. You tell this is not a professional setup, boys and girls. Like,
no, you did the cold open. That's all you did. You just did the cold open.
Fun.
Well, in case,
to be fair, right now, Blue Collar's still hunkered down in his bunker from the end of days mist that's covering up New York right now.
Thank you, Russ. In case you guys couldn't tell, I'm in a fucking bathroom right now because literally there's nowhere. I have no furniture, and the massive echo effect is. It sounds like I'm in a fucking cave. So the bathroom is good for sound. So
for the price, Espelon is pretty good actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the same. It's a little bit more expensive than like shitty tequilas, like Jose Cuervo, but like it's significantly better.
For me, like as long as it's silver, 100% agave, and comes in a glass bottle, I'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now that Dark Air is on this next higher level, I went ahead and sent him out something. I went to the post office today and sent him out a little gift, so hopefully he can use that on one of his next streams. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think I'm scheduled for B-Sup on Monday.
Nice.
Whoa, what are you talking about then?
I was told that there's going to be somebody who's doing or a pair of guys who have like a Kickstarter comic book that they're trying to like get going. So I was like, so I was like,
it's already frowned upon from the crowdfunding comic book people. You got to go like Indiegogo.
I don't really understand the whole like Indiegogo versus
Kickstarter has politically persecuted or segregated certain artists or they've definitely given a lot of shit to like was it John Malin and your boy Zach Richard C. Meyer? They had their first book, Jawbreakers.
Yeah.
It was like technically the first Comicsgate book. And it was a big deal, but it got kicked off of Kickstarter. And so have some other, somewhat, right of center books have just been, taken off Kickstarter. Indiegogo,
they probably have
more forgiving on that stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of breakdown. Now that I have a new apartment, I noticed Russell so many times had this green screen. Eventually, now I should probably buy something to match his epic background and shit.
Well, maybe I could just send you this one when I eventually finally finish this room. Like, you know,
Hey.
just mail you mine. Like,
Yeah. Well, I couldn't ask you yesterday because I was rushing home. But it said I was actually doing Uber. I stopped the fucking car because you can pause Uber. I'm on the side of the road. I'm refreshing my feed every 10 seconds. I'm like, I'm counting like 900, 980. The second you hit 1,000, like fucking.
oh man, that was
going
like
nuts.
such a cool moment.
Yeah.
It's weird though because like I'm still having like visibility issues with my channel. Like some people are like, I have trouble finding you.
I'm not gonna lie. I search Dark Hour. Now it comes up because I subscribe to it, but previously when I wouldn't, it'd be very difficult to find it. But when I would search "Let's Talk Content," it'd be the first thing that pops up.
Well, Let's Talk
Dark
Content. Unfortunately, Let's Talk Content is like that's like 3 or 4 different people utilize that kind of those keywords when Let's Talk.
But also, that was what's funny is like I would search "Let's Talk Content" and then Dark Hour would be the first thing that pops up, and then I would search Dark Hour and I would have to scroll and scroll and scroll and still never see it.
I'm trying to figure it out. There's ways to boost visibility, like through through your like description and stuff. I just gotta try out some of them.
Yeah,
and also
I had the same discussion with Russ about my channel because like Chris made this the big flowery emotional speech, which was great, but it was like he's like Enzo with his channel Tales from the Dork Side.
Yeah,
I'm like that's the Stupenzo channel, Dork Side.
Well, that was kind of my problem. Was like
I wasn't sober. Come on.
It was kind of my problem with like my channel was like it was called one thing, but I was called another thing. So it was like confusing people. So I was like, rather than change my name to Let's Talk Content, which sounds fucking stupid, I changed the channel to
you become a they them.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm Let's Talk. I'm multiple.
When you Dark Hour, when you go guests on some of these streams, do they put your do they put your link like in they do that? Okay.
Yeah. So like for like when I'm on like the Mr. Brown Alliance, like my link is like constantly on there because I'm a member.
Nice.
But like for other ones, like unless I'm on BSUP or now Open Bar, they don't put it on there unless they're
okay.
So that's like it.
Well, the algorithm's gonna start picking you up pretty fast.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think once it starts, once I release this next video, it should. I think that will correct itself. Worst case scenario, I put out some sort of like, hey, you know, this name's really not working for the algorithm. Everybody, give me some suggestions, and we'll have a huge like vote. Like that's like the last ditch effort. But I don't want to give. I think there also might be like some guy has like a channel called like the Dark Hour Paranormal Channel or something like that.
I really think it's just YouTube hasn't really caught on to the fact that like in the algorithm, like you haven't changed your name. Because like I said, when I search up your old name, it comes up. So I'm sure it'll just take a minute. Sometimes these things take a while to teach these stupid computers.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's supposed to be instant, but yeah.
I always have to remind people like when they watch one of this, like anything I recommend them, like if I put in Stupenzos or Blue Collars, like if I pass it around at the bar, I'm like, hey, don't just watch it. Hit that like button. You know, if you want to subscribe, cool, but at least hit that like button. That way it tells the algorithm, you know, what it is, you know, and fuck it, just leave like a little comment, just be like, hey, I'm here, or hey, you know, cool stream, you know, like whatever. So like we had what's her name on our top 3 a couple
Dex
ago.
Electronica.
Yeah, she like all of her stuff pops up in my feed all the time.
Yeah.
So and I don't know I don't ever look up jack shit about gaming. She's just funny as fuck.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
streaming with her. She's like notorious for getting streams like demonetized though. That's like her whole thing.
I love her for that. I love her for that.
She will.
I definitely do that. Is that a thing? I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do that every stream I'm on.
Well, this one's not. So you could literally say whatever since this is a non-monetized stream.
Yeah.
But there's like a whole list of words that can trigger it. One of which is Dylan Mulvaney can trigger your demonetization.
Oh, so Dylan Mulvaney kills everything, not just the stuff he supports, but also what his name.
But yeah, if you say Dylan Mulvaney and it like triggers in the auto like captions, it will flag that stream.
Oh shit!
Wow.
And certain words, so like if somebody goes like fuckity fuck, like it will flag that stream. You will lose revenue temporarily, but you can
Yeah.
appeal that. If you say cunt, which Vex is known for, that's like her like favorite word in the whole English language. Dylan Mulvaney, various, like obviously any slurs, any racial or like any of those automatic.
I can list those if you want. No.
Get my shit banned.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like if
there's
anyone,
certain ones that will just knock your stream off.
I definitely can turn it off in
Wow.
case anyone's wondering, you know. So if that's ever like a thing, like, hey, this guy, he could be on your stream, but he definitely curses a lot and says I can definitely turn it off. You know.
Oh, I definitely like. I haven't really gotten to know Mauler yet, but like when I do, man, I'm definitely gonna like throw your name in there for a possible EFAP because I think you can do that shit forever,
dude.
Thank you. I love that dude, and it's like
every frame.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten like he's like the one I haven't really gotten close to yet. He's a bit of a like he's everywhere, so like you're lucky if you cross paths with him. It's like when the moon is going over for the eclipse. It's like, oh, gotcha. Okay, bye.
I'm at the girl's house, so I can't be blamed for the spotty internet. That was the first that's happened like all week though. So whatever. But anyway, yeah, the thing is like
pretty good today.
Taking a 10-minute YouTube video and turning that into a 5-hour movie. That's an art form in itself.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to ask all three of you guys, because obviously, see, Russell had the first, before he had a channel, Drinker had him on for Last Action Hero. And I said, initially, since I started Patreon and writing Drinker, that I've gotten the past year at least about 50 people saying, hey, listen, why don't you write him and get yourself invited onto like open bar, like how Russell did Last Action Hero. And I've always said the past year that it's no offense to Russell because Drinker did him a favor. I said, I don't want to feel like hey, listen, I started a YouTube channel a month ago and I'm only getting popular by milking the Critical Drinker. But now
I understand.
And now they had the 1 year mark and stuff. It's because obviously it's like Drinker. I mean, he basically monetized your channel last night. And
I haven't hit the hours mark yet.
Okay,
but,
it
will now it will be a lot easier to do.
But even like
I saw what you said, Chris, about how like it's like I don't want to be poaching on the Critical Drinker's name.
Yeah,
I feel like I definitely do that. I'm not trying to poach on his name, but I'm definitely like, hey, similar interests here.
Yeah.
Let's,
the one thing about that is like, I mean, I think that like I really lucked out. I will say that. It's hard to get like somebody like that, like because first of all, I mean, he gets hundreds of messages a day. Like
definitely
the fact that he does answer you back though is a good thing. So
that's what I'm saying. And I told him direct. I wrote him today. I said, Will, and I mean, because of course we say Drinker, but I try to be respectful, saying Will/Drinker. The second I launched my channel, he's wrote me back like at least fucking 15 times, and he, like you said, Russell, it may take him a month or two because he's busy as fuck. But he's like, you're the first one. And he's like, I made my Dark Harvest video just 100% like just for fun, and I didn't think the dude tweeted my shit out. He wrote me directly. He said, Chris, I loved it, dude. And I'm like. Thanks,
well, I mean,
bro.
You were giving him praise. If he was like, dude, this sucks. So fucking hate you. Like, stop saying nice things.
If you might have given him some legitimate criticism, he might have been like, hey, you really,
Well, like,
maybe I should do that. Maybe I should critique one of his books and like just kind of like really. I'm
a published author, and I thought this book had some serious pacing issues.
I did want to ask you guys because obviously now with Russell being open bar and stuff, it's been brought to me either whether it's Russell or people in the group chat or private messages. It's been brought to my attention many times that why don't you now ask the Drinker yourself if you want to do an open bar or like Last Action Hero? And I'm like, well, I hit the year mark, but it's like Russell said, he gets so many fucking requests. I feel awkward asking him. You know what I mean? Because he's everywhere.
I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, I think you just need it like because just the thing about the Last Action Hero thing was like. I think I just caught him on a really good day.
He sought you out for that, didn't he, Russell? Didn't he?
I had suggested it, and then like, but I didn't. And then he kind of like messaged me back. Originally, he was like, I don't. And it was exactly what we're trying to say. Like, he was like, if I do that, I get all these messages. People want to come on, and I'm sure that happened. But he kind of, I don't know. He just kind of changed his mind, like shortly thereafter. So I mean, like it can't hurt, but I mean, I think you have to have an angle.
Yeah,
I think that's true too. I think he saw that you were knowledgeable about the topic and passionate about it. God knows why, because it's a terrible movie. I think he saw that you were knowledgeable about the topic, that you were loquacious. You're well read, and I think he was like, "This is the guy." Because I mean. to a lesser degree, like Enzo and Blue Collar were like, hey, well, let's do this Avatar stream. Hey, who hates Avatar? Wes fucking hates it. Let's get him on so he
That
can
was-
shit
yeah,
on
I,
it.
I assumed you'd be on it, and the fact that you hated it was just like happy accident,
Yeah. So I mean, he knows what he's doing. So
Yeah.
Chris, I would just say, with your stuff, because your shit is funny as fuck. Like
No, I
every
appreciate
time you
it.
have a video, I watch, even if it's a movie I don't plan on seeing, or if it's something that I'm not, because you see everything.
Yeah.
I watch your shit and I laugh my ass off. So I mean, it's gonna wind up in his realm, and I'm sure that he will like pull you into his orbit. Because you see these guys that are, and let's be honest. I mean, we've been doing those throwback drinker videos. Look at his early stuff. He like kind of stumbled upon other stuff, and then he got pulled out of the ether as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm not trying to throw shade at him or anything like that, but just 4 years ago, his early videos are, I mean, they're
a bit rough. They're
nowhere near as polished as what you and Russell can do.
100%.
So I mean, and that's just how it works. I think and you see the people that he has in his orbit. You see Mahler's his number one guy, and he's always on his hip and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're gonna go watch a Mahler video, you got to like clear your schedule for 3 days or something and listen to him talk about Star Wars for 8 hours or something like that.
I do it when I'm working. I listen to that stuff when I'm
so
working.
Do I. So do I.
Brain,
That's been
I think the thing is, you would just need to really like probably sit down, come up with a real good angle for it. Like, we could talk about it like one day, but.
Plus, the other thing is like trying to, also just kind of waiting for, a big YouTuber to pull us around. I think as long as we got our collective group of friends and, one of us starts doing well, it's like, yeah, man, it's like we all hang out together. And it's all collective victory here. You've been going for a year now, and
that's my premise. It's like I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to, if I ever asked that favor and said, hey, listen, dude, would you mind having me on talk about whatever? It could be like predator.
As long as it's something you're passionate about and know a lot about, and you just like, for instance, if I got to talk to the drinker about a movie, it would have been like, definitely Boogie Nights would have been one of them, or RoboCop's been done, but From Dusk Till Dawn,
right?
I could talk about From Dusk Till Dawn for fucking a week straight. I can talk about that movie. I can talk about movies.
And here's the other thing. Also, I wouldn't restrict yourself just to like drinker. Like, I mean, if there's other YouTubers that you think might be interested in having you on,
I want to get on the Jack Show one day. Yeah, like that's what I want to do.
Like, because like at this point, because when I was on with Drinker, he had like almost like he had about half of what he has now in terms of subscribers. Like he's so like at this point, he may have kind of capped out. Like I just happen to already be in that orbit, so to say.
Gotcha.
If you try to catch someone more on the rise, that might help. Like somebody who maybe is like closer to like the 50 to 100,000 marker. That could help too.
Right. I'm hoping to get on one of the B-Sup streams, I'm hoping to get on something with Vex, one of her streams.
Well, that's one to ask you, Russell. Like, what was like? I guess I wouldn't say idea or motivation. Because next, it's like, hey, listen, you're on talking to Little Platoon. You're talking to
So they actually sought me out. Platoon and Cynic were actually sought me out because they got my name through the grapevine. So I didn't reach out to them. So
did they see some of your videos?
Yes,
like your Cocaine Bear and
the one that Cynic said that he really liked was the Consequences of a Fight Scene video.
I like that one too.
My Mortal Kombat one. He really liked that one. I was like, oh, that was like. But what? So was there another question there, Chris?
Oh no, I just said because like since the drinker started your Last Action Hero, it's like I just didn't know what the process from like, hey, look, I see Russell the Dark Hour. I'm Little Platoon he's doing other things, and it's great seeing you branch out. I just didn't know what was the motivation.
There's really no process. Honestly, it's really just random. I wish that there was like a way I could tell you it's this path one way to the. It's just I kind of ended up in like this sort of like on the edge of radars, and they just kind of happened.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I remember them talking about you on a live stream where that you weren't in, Russell, one time. Somebody, I think it was actually Chris, I think it was you, made a comment or a super chat or something like that, said something about and they're like, oh yeah, he's making the rounds,
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Barrel.
Yeah, that's
Barrel.
I'm pretty much in on like the B-Sup thing. So if I'm just eventually, if they ask me like, hey, do you have anybody? Right now they have such a backlog of guys they want to try out.
Oh yeah.
like but like eventually I know that they'll open up and be like, hey, like you got anybody you're thinking of, and I'll throw some names out there.
Yeah, throw us in the queue.
He's not. Yeah, Russell will put blue collar in there. Me and you.
No,
I
told Russ
I ain't bringing
specifically.
those guys in here. They're going to demonetize the stream so fast.
I told Russ specifically put collar up first before he started recommending my name. He's been doing it longer, and I'm gonna be.
I do appreciate it. It's like when Wes gives me those compliments, I appreciate it as much as Russell. And I've said this where I have my son, my girlfriend, my sisters. We all watch his videos, and I super chatted Drinker. I said, listen, I'm not saying it's just as a friend. I'm saying as a fan that like every fucking video Russell puts out, he's just his comedy, his fucking pacing, his scripts. The dude's just getting better and better and better. So I'm like, I know for a fact that Russell, right now the 1K, that was the hard part. Now that he's hitting 1K, it's just uphill from here.
That's what everybody's kind of told me too. It's even like Platoon said, the first 1,000's the hardest. It's like, so like I kind of got a shortcut in there. Like, I was about 400. So it probably would have eventually happened. It would have just been a much slower process.
Yeah.
It always steamrolls with anything really too. You look at the Drinker group. I had that thing that I posted to the mod page because it was like a year ago or whatever, and we had just broke 1,000. Just because we had started the new group and it had been a few months and we broke 1,000. I was so happy. I was like, man, we're back to 1,000. That's amazing. And then now it's like almost 7,000. So it's just one of those things that starts to steamroll.
It's also one of those things. If people see a larger number, they're more likely to click.
How long did that 6,000 take?
About 10 months.
9 or 10 months. Yeah. And
Crazy.
that's coming from the other one completely got shut down.
Because I think when I came into the group, it was about like 20. It was around like 2,500, and now
Why is Wolf in the private chat?
I don't know.
Not in the stream.
This is my first time doing this shit. Hold on.
Is he in the thing?
There he is.
Is he in the waiting room?
Sorry. I had the full screen. I didn't see him.
How long have you been there?
Probably 3 or 4 minutes. Whenever it
was just. It would have been funny if we just cut to it. He was just pounding one out. He was just like,
I've been out for 20 minutes waiting.
No, I told Tyler that. Like I said, it's like first off the bat, the first person to invite obviously was Russell because like Russell broke my streaming cherry. So it's like we're bonded with that. So
yeah, I still have all the streams that they've been removed from the channel, but they have not been erased. They are They are backed up onto a different channel.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
We need to do some editing and get some of those good. A lot of those, the ones that you did those quick edits of. Yeah, you had like the specific topics. Those are great, man. Those are the ones.
Yeah. It was mostly for algorithm purposes because the lives do hurt you. For some weird reason, but they are all backed up. They're not gone.
Yeah, the lives don't hate. I want to get to 1,000 subs. I don't care how long it takes. I want to get to 1,000 subs despite live streaming every Monday.
So they're
clogging up all their.
So here's the thing: there's two. So if you only do lives, then it pushes that. It's when you mix the two. It's when you have live and pre-edited stuff.
I'm doing that.
It screws it up. So
exactly.
You're playing on hard mode.
And I'm like, who knows what's going on.
But yeah, all the Let's Talk cinemas have been backed up. The Dork Hour podcasts have been backed up.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice. I'm probably just gonna wait until like it makes logical sense to have a second channel.
Yeah,
and then do that.
Well, that's how the Drinker has his setup. He has his like lives in one section. Like when I'm looking for older Drinker content, it's not that difficult. It's a little like if you guys ever go digging around in there for Throwback Thursdays, like it's a little difficult to find the earlier stuff, but he has it kind of set up a certain way. He has like the after hours and the Drinker extra shots and all that shit. Yeah. So, see, my thing is with doing like regular videos is I feel stupid every time I do. I'm much better flying off the cuff and just talking live.
Yeah, there definitely is a different skill set.
Yeah, when I watch the two of you guys, Blue Collar and Dark Hour, when I watch your videos, I'm like, God damn, man, how the hell do they get this clip so well? Especially with Chris being half in the bag every time he does a fucking video, and I'm just like.
I can tell you my process is probably not the best process because I write a script, rewrite the script, then I record it, then edit. It's probably mine's probably longer than most people's.
Yeah.
So wait, I'm sorry. I saw Wes use the expression "half in the bag." What does that actually mean?
It means he's basically almost drunk.
Drunk, but how? What is that? How? I don't get that.
It's because Chris drinks half a bottle of something every time before.
You're half in the bag. Is that what that means? Like,
well, it also means you're half out of the bag too.
It's true.
Okay, yeah, pessimist, right? Optimists, yeah.
Hey,
Hey, there's comments. Oh, Chris, I don't know if you should see this, but like,
sorry,
there are highlighted comments on the right from the
I'm used to this shit
the
from
people
Farrell.
watching. Yeah, I like to highlight comments.
That's true right there. Cool.
Norton.
So basically, Russell, you're in the right in what we call in the writing field. You're a plotter, not a pantser.
Yes,
you like to plot your shit out.
Which is weird because when obviously when I'm doing a live stream, I can't sit there and write a script and be like, oh yes, this is what's going to be asked of me. So I just don't. But the thing is, I don't feel comfortable unless I've sat with the recorded stuff, unless I've actually sat down and like put it down on paper, because it's more analytical for me that way.
Do you write your jokes like ahead of time and shit? Because like some of the funny little quips you say, I'm like, did he just pull that out of his ass, or did he have that like written down, like Beast unnecessarily running up a wall for no reason?
I did not write that one. I will say that I didn't write that one. Some of them are pre-written. A lot of times what it is, I'll write like in there like a hollow shell of a joke, and then kind of try out a few different attempts on it.
Yeah.
So if it's something like that was embarrassing. Like it might be like, so that's how they said it, or like, I'll just try like a bunch of different versions, and then like I'll erase the ones that don't sound good.
Nice.
Yeah,
the worst is when I have 2 or 3 that sound great and I have to decide.
Right. It's usually good to like, when you rewrite, edit and stuff, it's good to like, the first thing that pops in your head is probably the same joke 100 other people would think of. Like when I'm doing these, the We Watches, the improv comedy, it's always trying to like not go with the most obvious joke, the
low hanging fruit. You're trying
or if you're going to say the same joke over and over again, like take the best joke of those and like just feature the one, we don't need to feature the 5 jokes that are kind of saying the same thing,
I guess the only way you can really do that is if like you tell them in rapid succession and kind of like cut them off. Like,
I can say one thing: the past year, the most fun I've had, which I want to do more, is a problem sitting down binging it. But Rings of Power, as awful as that show was, watching that entire season and drinking an entire bottle of fucking vodka, whipped cream vodka, was the most fun I've had all year. And the amount of comments I got, because people loved it. Like it's like by episode 7, I'm just like my hair is fucked. Like Chris,
that's like a form of torture.
It was, but the comedy people that before the whale video, my Rings of Power video got the most fucking views because everyone's like, because I'm just saying, I watched an episode, drink a quarter of a bottle, and by episode 8, the bottle's gone, and you can tell I'm like, fuck it, this show is so horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of what me and Russ talked about, like with low hanging fruit, like this contemporary reactionary like type of movie. Like people like to hear you shit on the new movie that just came out.
But it makes it more fun when you're fucking loaded. So like the thing is, I wanted to binge watch Willow, but Disney Plus took Willow down. I'm like, don't worry, I'm gonna find Willow somehow or another.
It's out there on the fucking pirate seas. Soon it'll be the only place to find it. They're literally trying to erase that movie from that show from existence.
Yeah.
You
which
could
is awesome.
find it. You could find it, Chris, but at what cost? At what cost?
My liver.
The cost of the internet.
The
brain cells.
So when it I actually lost what I was going to say.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, if you want me to review a shitty movie, okay, I'll watch it. But you want me to watch a shitty fucking Willow 10-hour miniseries? It's like, fuck off.
But if you do it with an entire fucking bottle of Jack Daniels, it may make it more fun. So
I try to switch off, and I kind of go like I'll watch a movie that I'm like guaranteed to not like Little Mermaid, but then after that I'll watch a movie or like I'm like fairly certain I'll at least somewhat like The Flash. That's the next one I'm going to do. I try to switch it off because if I did nothing but negative stuff, I don't know how certain guys do that. It's just
I don't know that. I've never understood that either. I can't force myself to watch a piece of shit and or just it doesn't even have to be a piece of shit, just something that I don't like. I don't know how Drinker or some of these other guys do that, and then just I know those are the videos that get the best they get the most clicks when they rip something a new asshole, and that's fine, and I don't mind ripping something a new asshole, but to go into it knowing that I'm not going to like it, like that Dungeons and Dragons movie, I know a lot of people dug that or whatever, but I literally walked out of that. I could not just sit and dump on that movie.
I actually, so it was weird. I found that movie to just be so like, it was such a C- that it wasn't even bad enough for me to stick around to see the train wreck. Like I just like, it was so just benignly like at best average, at worst like mid.
As the
It was
kids
just
say.
it just wasn't like, and I got bored of it really quickly. And like, I actually am more likely to hang, like, obviously if it's a great movie I'll hang around, but I'm more likely to hang around for a terrible movie to kind of be like, okay, how terrible can this get?
But also, like, terrible movies nowadays, they're soulless and evil. Whereas terrible movies from 20 years ago, there was like a passion there. It's
Right.
Just, you know,
like
bad,
Commando.
bad
Commando is basically a terrible movie. We were ripping it a new asshole a little bit.
There's a
last
love
night,
to it, you know.
There's love. Yeah, we had love for it because
anything starring Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Suburban Commando.
Yikes.
Such a fun time watching that shit with my cousin and just riffing on it.
That's one thing. It's like, it's funny with the drinker group. It's amazing how it's like people. It's funny. He'll rip apart certain things, but like everyone expects him to hate Fast 10. Then he makes a video like, "Hey guys, I actually liked Fast 10."
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. So swinging back to you, Chris, what's next for you? Are you going to start doing
like I said,
TV shows and
I
stuff?
would like to. The biggest problem is now that I have basically a stable living place. Where once the furniture comes in, I have a more stable work environment. I do want to start doing because Wes, I said we bust balls all the time, but Wes, he got me into his taste in TV shows is fucking amazing, and
You're goddamn right it is.
I watched season 1 of Banshee, and I want to binge watch the entire fucking season of Banshee. I want to watch Reacher. I want to review it, but it's the biggest problem for me is when you see this in videos is that sitting down and spending 8 hours watching a show, then bringing it down, then editing stuff. It's a fucking process when you're working these weird, like after the stream tonight, I'm about to go fucking do 10 hours of Uber. So it's like, it's hard to sit there and
wait, you're currently drinking, dude.
I'll be sober.
Wow,
it's like his running joke, dude. His return, yeah.
It's like, don't
hey,
worry.
Man, I drive dirty too. But for me, like with watching like 10 hours of a terrible show, like I don't need a bottle of whiskey. I need like some whiskey, but like a lot of pot and a lot of food, which is bad for you.
I think if to get me to watch Rings of Power, I need straight up black tar heroin, bro. I need to be completely just like.
Yeah, but then you got to write a essay about it, a video essay, and you're like, I don't remember. Now you got to watch it a second time, and you're like, God damn it! Now don't do it.
I would need to basically be like completely sedated and like my eyes like strapped.
See, I would need to do the opposite. I would need to take like some fucking uppers of some kind and just be like, I can't fall asleep.
My cousin, we watched all of House of the Dragon, and we both got fucking drunk. She's a big Game of Thrones fan. I'm still editing that video, but again, it's like binging fucking 10 hours of a TV show and sitting there, just taking. It's like guys like Mueller. I'm looking at them.
They're professionals. They have that's their job.
Exactly.
And when you're doing it as an amateur, you got to pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
So like that's why I only do what.
I was gonna say, you either pick your battles or you just do the long haul and suffer. I mean,
well, that's still part of picking your battles.
Yeah, I know, but like, there's one of my big influences on YouTube actually has nothing to do with reviews. It's actually binging with Babish, and he'll tell you the same thing every single time. He comes home from work at like early in the night. He would film an episode for like 6 or so hours, which he would be up until like 2 and 3 in the morning, and then like get 3 hours of sleep, which when you hear that story, it's amazing that the content he put out in 2016 was as good as it was.
Yeah.
That's not too dissimilar to the way I do it, actually. A lot of times.
Well, how long do you last for? Because like with me, it's maybe like.
So for when I'm doing, so I have this issue where like I will probably record the same line like 5, 6, 7 times.
I've done that.
And so like just the recording of the vocals can take me 2 or 3 nights of like 4 hours in a row.
Yeah.
For a 20-minute video. Because I will literally like if first of all, I always fumble the first time I do a line. Like it's a guarantee every time.
I've been there. Yeah.
And then then I'll record one and I'm like this is the thing that's the worst is when you have one that's pretty good. It's like 95% of the way where you want it. And I'm like, nah, I could do better than that. And I erase that one. And I'm like, because I like, and then stupidly, I haven't learned yet, but just leave that one, try again. And if I like the other one better, I'll go back.
Yeah.
I'll erase that one. I'll do it again, and it'll be like 70%. Like I gotta do it again instead of hitting the undo button 3 times.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Dark
valid considering like I leave in every movement within my content that I possibly
well, you do a
There's-
lot of on-screen stuff, whereas I only do that occasionally. So
yeah, but like here's the thing: the on-screen stuff, it takes me like 10 minutes to film, and it takes like I don't even want to keep track how many hours of like having to
edit it.
to pick
effects.
to pick which segment is the best to
Mhm.
green screen everything to do all those title cards. I mean, I know for a fact I'm going to go see Asteroid City. I've already made my title cards for that because I mean the movie poster is a guy with a guy with a
sometimes I
jetpack.
will pre-write some jokes because I know that no matter how much I like a movie, I know what the joke will work either way.
Yeah.
And I also
Wes was going to say something, by the way. So let's.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, real quick, Tyler. I'm sorry. I know you have all these loudmouth people in here, and you always ask intelligent questions. We all talk over you, so I'm sorry. But
I only have a few more minutes anyway,
Wes,
so let's get the.
Wes, I'm friends with Josh. I'm used to it.
Fair enough. Hey, so when you, Russell, when you did X-Men the cartoon, did you guys do? And I know that was a thing from you, grandfathered in from your previous channel thing. Did you guys like do the whole show, or did you? Because it looks like it's kind of an amalgam of episodes.
So we did the whole episodes. We only did the first 2 episodes, or the first 3 episodes maybe. Yeah. And we were planning on doing the whole show, but as several of you have heard the story, there was a fallout there. So that never happened. I do intend on going back and doing cartoons, but I might do it as full, like, overview things eventually.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to suggest to Chris, was just to tell him if he's not going to do a breakdown thing, like Chris, I'll send you a link of this other YouTuber I follow, and like she did all of the whole recap of season 1 of Yellow Jackets, and it was like a 20-minute thing, and she does that stuff that you and Dark Hour does with the little intercut, like throwing in like little Rick and Morty, quick clips, and
I was able
to
fit. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say she does it. Her style is almost exactly like you guys' style, where it's like a voiceover from the background. And then it's
the disembodied voice of Dark Hour.
Disembodied voice, yeah. And actually, I'll send it to both of you because it's really funny, and I just think that would be the way to go if you're gonna instead of doing a play-by-play of each and every episode, maybe just do like a recap of like season 1.
Well, I did that. I did that season review of that one show on Amazon, the one with J.K. Simmons, which I'm like I actually binged the entire season when I had the time, but that was
was that Counterpart?
No, the one with him and his wife, where it's like they found this alien fucking.
Oh yeah.
I did. So I do season reviews sometimes, but it's so time consuming.
Before I go, because I do have to go take care of things, but I definitely wasn't going to miss getting here to congratulate you.
Yeah.
About what Wes was just saying, I was able for my Rocky 2 video. I didn't know I was going to be able to even get 1 relevant in there, but I was able to get 3 relevant South Park clips into a Rocky 2 video.
Nice.
So that should be coming out Sunday. I'm going to probably later tonight after I take care of the stuff I have to do now.
Yeah. You're doing the whole series, right? Are you going to do the whole series?
I'm going to do things in the middle to bust up the monotony.
Okay.
Because if I just did all of them in a row, I'd get bored.
Yeah.
Because it would just be like constantly looking at Rocky clips. So I'm gonna release this. Probably do something for Flash. Maybe do it. I've been a couple of people have suggested a Star Wars like lightsaber fight breakdown.
That could be cool.
Then maybe do Rocky 3, which will probably be the shortest video of all of them because that's like the fastest paced movie. So I'm just gonna be like, I may actually do that one on 2 times speed as a joke. Like I may do but I haven't decided yet. Yeah. But I do need to go for now. But
like I said, I was happy to get you on for even 5 minutes.
I mean, I wasn't going to miss this. I'm really happy. That
quite. We've got Doc Arrows stop by a bit. We can pop in for a quip for us. All right, you go hang out with your London friends again. There, Doc.
100% free go though, man.
Should we all speak in British accents? Does that make Dark Hour feel?
Dark Hour, have you?
We all talk like this.
What is your feelings on this from the American point of view? You did septic.
100%, dude. Like I said, it's like a fucking beyond grateful for like fucking you hit the 1K mark. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dude, seriously. Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't have done it without support from everybody, from all the way
Yeah.
up from Drinker all the way like
Yeah.
I mean, because like let's be honest, even like other people that I've streamed with that are big names compared to him are, you know, his numbers are just insanity.
Yeah.
But everybody helps me, you know, like Enzo has made graphics for me, you know, Tyler basically gave me the template for how to you know, do a like a movie breakdown, like when I asked you.
I forgot about that.
You know, so and Chris has always been there for me, and Wes has always been there for me, for various, you know, live streams, or just, you know, like Chris did that, like that pop in for me.
The bus driver outfit. Christ.
Honestly, dude, I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but I'm just glad you guys, you especially Russ, you just like hanging out with me. You know, that's all. You know.
Well, that being said, I gotta go. So see you later.
All right, man, see you later.
Catch you guys later.
Good job, Enzo. Great.
Wow,
Right.
yeah, and so you picked the right month for that.
I
one.
figured a nice cutoff is exactly hour mark.
Yeah.
You know, I told Russell with his schedule and stuff. I know you guys, we can be here. We can do a fucking 5-hour stream, but the guy's busy as fuck. And hey, man, it was cool as hell to have him on. So
Well,
I
he
should
told
have
me,
said
he
I
told me
do
something
want to sound like a
interesting.
queer. That's what I
Yeah,
should have
that's
said.
all right. We
I
know where
love
you're
you,
coming
man.
from. I miss your Musk. I miss your Musk. He told me today something I didn't know. You know, he's doing like multiple. Some of the stuff he does is like he's doing multiple stuff, and they have him talking about the same topics. And you know, over there in London land, you know, they're like 8-hour difference between us and shit. So he's having to pull some wacky hours, and he said like on a given day he's doing like 2 or 3 streams, or he's clipped into another video, or he's trying to get something done, so he's not getting as much stuff done with his own channel as he wants to, because he's been talking about editing those other streams and making them in those little short things. So yeah, we had a little discussion this morning when we both got up for work. We had like a little 10-15 minute back and forth. We were talking about doing the Kill Bill stream, and he says he's not sure he's going to even do that at this point. So that might be something that you know, we do later on. But yeah, he's getting pretty overwhelmed, because you know he's like us. He's got a full-time job.
Exactly.
You know?
No, I feel
and he's going to be in Vegas next week, so he'll be on an hour earlier than me. So there'll be like a 2-hour difference now.
That's a great now.
The East Coast
I mean,
boys.
I made the post on Facebook. I brought my kid to see a new Transformers film. I recorded it with my son. But the thing is, right now, it's like after doing this, I basically have to go to work all night. But then doing the Commando stream with you guys was fun as hell. On top of like spending time with her, but then on top of trying to get like the fucking apartment furnished. It's like if there was 30 hours in a day, it still wouldn't be enough. It's man.
Well,
yeah. Wait till you guys are in the Hunger Games there in New York, and you guys are all fighting off all those monsters that are coming in, that the aliens drop off in the middle of the mist. Then you're really going to be busy as fuck. I don't think you're going to be.
I would just like to clarify, I am not from the area of Canada that this all came from. So
That's okay.
I don't understand.
We all know it's from the aliens government conspiracy. Anyway.
Dude, speaking of demonetizing streams, the fires were started on purpose, because that way it's like they can funnel more environmentalist money. This is what they do. They start fires, then they get money, and then the money just kind of disappears to their fucking weird like parent corporation. Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Take it from me, Son of Fidel is not smart enough to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea how, like, you know, down New York City. I mean, I'm like 3 hours from New York City, but how fucking Canadian fires can go down to the end of the fucking New York State, that's some scary shit.
Well, my friends that live in Canada have been like throwing stuff up on TikTok, and their area looks fine. So I'm at a loss to.
I'm apparently one of the only people that doesn't actually smell smoke out there, anyways. Which I don't know. Like I'm technically like in the same time zone as Chris and Russ, but like nothing's orange. In fact, I dare say there isn't even any smog or shit like that.
And not even exaggerate, my girlfriend goes to work. I go to her mother's house, and her sister's like, "Hey, Chris, what's going on outside?" We go outside, and it's like a blood orange fucking moon at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the skies are like a fucking horror movie, and the entire like city smells like fuck. It smells like a goddamn bonfire. And I'm like, this is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like Matrix level, like the fucking bots are blacking out the sky, and I'm like, why does the entire fucking city smell like a big ass bonfire?
Well, when it has nowhere to go. When I was in Kurdistan, the insurgents used to set the refineries on fire, and I used to have to sleep with a mask over my face inside because it got so bad. So like it was just covered in that kind of haze that's there right now. It looks very similar to what I was dealing with on my third tour. So I mean, it's definitely man-made. Yeah, definitely a man-made thing. Hey, that package I sent, did I send that to your old address or your new address?
No, well, I'm going. It's like basically my new address is part, but my old address still works because it's my mother's house, and like I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna spend all weekend because I've been trying to say I've basically been trying to test out Uber as a full-time job. It may sound funny, but people aren't bullshitting. If you pick the right areas, like I'm in New York, and we have Saratoga.
Oh, no doubt.
Everybody everyone knows about the Saratoga raceways, and the Saratoga raceways. There is some fucking money tonight. So yeah, it kind of sucks logging in from like 10 p.m. until 5 o'clock in the morning. But people at 1, 2, 3 a.m., everybody's fucking drunk. They're at their bars, they're partying, and they want to tip their Uber drivers. And I've made the past few weeks some serious fucking money. Like I'm shocked, like how much Uber drivers do get paid.
Well, in New York, yeah, I bet.
It really is. But unfortunately, my apartment now, I'm basically in Utica, New York, and Utica is kind of a small town. So I have to drive to Saratoga. Yes, it's an hour and a half drive to Saratoga, but when I'm making 5 times the fucking money, it's worth the drive.
Well, I'm in a small college town outside of Kansas City, and we have Uber drivers that come from Kansas City just to work in this area because it's more money and it's more laid back and it's easier, and they know it's just college kids and shit like that. You know what you should do is you should get a little mini player and put it in the back, and then be streaming your videos 24/7 in the back where they have to watch it, and then have a little thing in the back of please subscribe to I
was thinking about that.
But the problem with that, they start watching your videos and they're like, "Is this you drinking right before you came to come pick me up?"
I swear to God, I told 3 of you guys yesterday. I was doing an Uber drive before Russell hit his 1K. I had this woman get in the back seat. She came in the back seat of my truck. She had 3 kids with her. And she goes, "Hey, I'm taking my kids to go see Little Mermaid, and I'm so happy that Ariel is black, and this is going to be a fantastic movie." And hey, have you seen Little Mermaid? And I'm like,
she said all that after saying hello.
I swear to God, it was a 10-minute ride to the movie theater. I'm looking at the back I've not seen The Little Mermaid, man.
Yeah, that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just and she had this Jamaican accent. Oh yeah, I'm so happy that Ariel's black, and this is gonna be good for me and my kids. It's gonna be a fantastic movie. And I'm like,
you're a better man than me, because when I worked at a movie theater in '98 and '99 before I joined the Army, people would come up to the booth and be like, "Hey, I was thinking about seeing that new Jada Pinkett movie, Woo. Is that any good?" I'm like, "Nah, it's total dog shit. Don't waste your money." And they'd be like, "Oh, are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, what the fuck did you ask me for? Of course it's dog shit. It's a terrible movie." And they're like, "Oh, well, what should I see?" I'm like, "I don't know. Go see Blair Witch Project."
Yeah.
I got my kids with me. Take them to see Star Wars. I don't know what do you want for my life? I'm not going to give you a whole movie review.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making $4.25 an hour. Give me a break.
That reminds me, can movie reviewers just have their own booth inside the movie theater so people can just walk up and say, "Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that?" I mean, it's more useful than that dipshit outside the arcade that keeps bothering you while you're waiting for the screen time.
You can set up in the parking lot. You can set up not on the property.
But seriously, in 2016, especially at my one theater, there was one guy who was literally being paid just to stand there and bug people to try out the arcade. And I was there every week, and he would still come up to me. And because, I don't know, I was 20 years old, I still had manners. I didn't tell him to fuck off or anything like that.
Dude,
and you know what? That arcade's not even there. I think they just put an extra wall over it now.
A little funny mini story because I want to wrap up in 10 minutes. I'm on my Ford Maverick. We have the display right there. So sometimes I will put I'll listen to the Drink Open Bar between basic customers. And at one point I paused it, but it still says YouTube says Drink Open Bar. This kid gets in. He had to be maybe 20 years old, 21. He goes, "Hey, how you doing, Chris?" And I'm pretty good because it tells you your name on the Uber. I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "Hey, I listened to a Critical Drinker." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, I love that guy." And I'm like, "This is just some random fucking kid, 21 years old." He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Put the Critical Drinker on." And I gave him a ride home. I put on YouTube and we listened to together. He's in the back seat. 10 minutes of his number 50 open bar. So I'm like, this is some kid in Utica, New York that never heard of the Drinker and shit. Drinker's over in Scotland. And some random kids like, "Hey, I'm 21 years old. I love the Critical Drinkers. I'm so happy." And we're listening to this guy driving. So I'm like, "Yo, Will is pushing 2 million subscribers." And that's, it's fucking impressive, and he's making a bigger name for himself than I think he realizes. Where I had some random person in the back of my car heard of the Critical Drinker, and we're in New York State, so it's like, hey, dude,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's going to be you one day, buddy. Just so you know. I mean, that's going to be you and Russell. You guys are going to be like, they're going to like, they'll have throwback blue collar Thursdays, and they'll be looking at one of these older streams. They'll be like, hey, they had this fucking weirdo named Enzo and fucking Lord of Toxicity on there talking all this crazy shit. Remember when Joe Biden was president and these two fucking assholes were, talking all this shit during the dark times of censorship when you couldn't say certain stuff, and they had these two assholes that were saying all this like crazy wild shit. I mean, people like that.
Well, besides Russell and now I want to say Wes, that like the thing I like about Wes is I've told guys because I started drinking, getting sentimental and shit, that Wes loves to fucking bust balls, but I've never one time in the past 2 years knowing him that I've never taken it like as a personal attack. Like Wes loves busting balls, but in such a friendly, like brotherly kind of love kind of manner. And I love the fact, like Enzo said, we can do Avatar. You can hate Avatar, and we can have so much fucking fun with opposing viewpoints because the way you handle yourself is not disrespectful. It's
at the end of the day, I don't like when things delve into. I still think like people should have their own opinion. Believe it or not, I know I'm a little heavy-handed in the group and stuff like that with banning people, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm all for having a different point of view. It's when it starts getting into little like slick comments and smarmy. But if it's all in good fun, I mean, if somebody genuinely likes something, then they genuinely like something. I don't expect everybody to like everything that I like. Like you guys have taken the piss out of me. Like Vex ripped me a new asshole during that top 3 stream for liking Last of Us. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's not for everybody. Everybody comes at it from a different. Again, I have like I don't remember who asked that question. It was somebody was like, so I think it might have been Vex. They were like, do you have a daughter? Is that the thing? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, okay. Well, that explains a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I brought it up. I was like, I think what explains why Wes likes it so much is that he's got a daughter. None of us do.
Well, I kind of feel like our banter is like if people can watch Friday Night Tights, you can love or hate Friday Night Tights, but like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and you got Gary from Nerdrotic and Az and everybody Mauler, like they will go at it and stuff, but you can tell it's like they're busting balls, but they're still fucking friends. Yeah. Even like Gary from Nerdrotic said, guys, he's like, guys, listen, I love John Wick 4. He was Mauler hated John Wick 4, and Gary's like,
did he really?
That's
why doesn't like a lot of things.
Exactly. But by the way, Gary, I watched one Gary.
He liked Last of Us.
Yeah, but it's just funny because Gary's like, guess what? I like John Wick. Maurer didn't, but guess what? We're still friends. And that's why I feel like with Jeremy, if you watch Friday Night Tights, it's so funny how these guys are ripping each other apart, but you can tell they're still buddies. That's why I said Wes. Wes has no problem shitting on me, but like I know it's like he's doing it as a buddy.
All out of love. It's all out of love.
Yeah.
Like imagine
you should do that. You should clip that from Weird Science. When Chet is turned into the big shit monster and he says it's all out of love. You got to clip that. That'd be a good clip for you to use. But yeah, man, I think that at this point with a year and it's been successful, you've been able to get your little niche going on. Yeah, I think you should start doing that. I think you start getting into like TV show recaps and do some other stuff. I know you also game a little bit. You might want to think about and especially the thing with you did your book review. You don't want to stray too far. Like you don't want to start doing relationship advice or some shit like that. Nah. God knows, and you don't want to do the best liqueurs that you can drink type thing. But I mean, as long as you keep it within the realm of entertainment. I think it's pretty enjoyable, and I'm only like half kidding, but I'm also half serious about, I'm not gonna lie, guys. When we do a stream or when one of you guys has a stream and I gotta work, I always pimp it out at the bar. Yeah. Like I get a lot of your views that you'll get from my end of my neck of the woods is because I'll be like, hey, one of my homeboys is doing a thing. Click on it real quick. I'm actually like pretty serious about like you putting something like that up in your Uber or somewhere around there, or maybe just bring it up. You like to talk, bring it up in conversation, ask them if they like to watch YouTube. Cause I mean, again, that's how you find stuff. Like that's how we found Vex, for the stream was because I saw her on that stream with Russell and I thought she was fucking hilarious.
I thought it'd be funny if like after she talked, like imagine if like after she had, poo-pooed on you for liking Last of Us, then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't like her anymore. You know, like no, you're still like she's still funny. You know, like still like exactly.
The funny thing about it was on the Beast Up thing she did with Russell and them and all the British guys, or whatever it was, the best stream on Earth or whatever the fuck it is.
Best stream in the universe, possibly, or something like that.
She was the like crazy outcast in there and like just like doing all that random shit. But with us, she was like the most polite. She was so nice, and we're all like saying all this like outlandish shit.
Technical issues, which she may have just been bored with us and popping out.
She loved us.
She doesn't have any technical issues on any other streams.
I do want to ask you guys, I'm new to this shit. Like, I did want to kill at the 1 hour mark, but sometimes me and Enzo in the past, we've talked like, I guess offline. So do I hit? Do I hit?
Oh, I know.
Real quick before you end it, I got 2 great ideas. Number one, first of all, this idea of like Tyler like going at a movie theater outside the parking lot with like a booth, like ask me. I've seen all these movies on the internet. Ask me what you think about them. That's funny.
Just think of me. Just think of me as Lucy from Peanuts in that regard. Just
be like, just have a big sign in front of the parking lot. No, not even just for free. Just like sitting there, like I've seen every movie that's playing here. Ask me anything you want to know about the movies.
And then
you know what? I wasn't even thinking of that as a show idea because like Heisen,
just a video idea, maybe. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Heisen mentioned in our collective Facebook group, he mentioned an idea for a show that I literally had in my head for the past couple weeks of like 2 people duking out like yay or nay on a movie, and I'm just sitting there going, what if we mute like one person while the other speaks, so like there's no tension, no trauma, and people can actually hear what the fuck they're saying.
That's a good idea. Okay, so second idea for drinker, blue collar.
Drinker.
I'm sorry. Blue collar.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say drinker. I meant to say I don't like calling you loser, so I call you blue.
That's why I made it for a loser. Like I'm fine.
All right, no. So blue. The thing about blue, what I think would be cool is if instead of like hey, I'm gonna tell you about this movie and here's like some random alcohol and like some random fucking Pepsi drink I have, and I'm just gonna take a sip. Instead, like maybe like do like a how dinner in a movie would make a dinner that's kind of themed like the movie. It'd be cool if you could be like, hey, for the movie 65 billion years, here's some dinosaur whiskey I found. It's got a dinosaur label. That's
not bad.
It's funny. He kind of did that. He did that for 65.
You've done it. You've done it kind of, but you've done it before. You're close, but like more of that. Kind of like binging with Babish. We talked about binging Babish. He's got that hook. It's not just making food. It's making food from movies. So it's like, oh, I'm not just gonna drink a drink. It's like I'm drinking a drink that has something to do with the movie I'm reviewing. And I know it's like if that shit gets expensive because you start buying all these novelty fucking boozes that you never use.
The past year, because just the hardest thing I've done so far in one fucking year of YouTube was getting a video to exactly 65 seconds. That was fucking difficult as fuck to edit that.
I do not like the shorts. I made 2 shorts. They fucking hardly got any traction.
Because the way Wes was like, I dare you to do it.
And so there's like every video, there's for some reason a right or a wrong time to post something. I mean, but another reason. That Fast 10 short that I posted, like I didn't think was gonna get anything, and then it got like 260 views, along with one dickhead who can't even spell saying no, I don't like you, I don't want these movies to end. And I just typed back, then buy the entire set.
Yeah.
Right, but the biggest issue I have with the shorts is like you have to like format the videos vertically, so you got to upload them from a phone, and it's just such a bitch to just like do it that way. It's like, why can't I just upload a 60-second YouTube video from my computer and just say, hey, I want this to be a short, and I can crop it how I want. Why can't I do this? Stupid.
Well, going forward, I want to like take a clip from like a 10-second or so clip from a video I haven't posted yet, but will be coming up soon.
Yeah.
Like I tried that with my Bert Kreischer thing, and that didn't pan over. And like my Kreischer thing got 600 views anyways, because who the fuck else? Like Chris Stuckman's not going to see Bert Kreischer's The Machine. Like I have an advantage over that.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to talk to you guys like offline, so I don't want to drag the video out too much. But bottom line is, it's been a fucking year. I want to do another year. Wes has been there from day one. Obviously, over time, I met Enzo and Tyler. You guys have been fucking awesome, and I'm hoping one day I do want to do stuff like open bar and middle of the channel is just, it's like, I wanted to, bottom line is get my first year by myself. That way no one could say, hey, listen, you had a channel for 2 months and you're milking the drinker's good name. And I'm like, no, I spent a year myself busting my own ass getting to here. And it's, you know, like I said, 350 subs, guys. I 100% meant this, that I never thought a year ago I'd get more than fucking, like, I'd have like 2 or 3 friends up to my shit. And when Wes says this stuff, Wes not the only person. I've had total strangers say, dude, I love your shit. And I'm like, that's why we do it for.
I love your videos. Even if I didn't know you personally, your videos fucking crack me up.
And that means a lot
every
to me.
time I need a quick laugh, I'll pop on one of your things, because, like, again, and that's your niche too, Chris. And you should milk that too, because, like, Chris literally sees everything with that Regal Apps reward card. So I mean, he, you know, if I need a movie review, if I'm gonna try to figure out if I'm gonna watch something, I'm like, you know what? I'll bet you Chris did a video on this.
And I tried with the drinker. I try being fair as possible. Say, hey guys, with Transformers, let's listen. Transformers. I understand Transformers. If you don't like the Michael Bay films, you probably won't like this film. However, I'll just say X, Y, and Z. So I tried being as fair as possible. Like I said with Fast 10, guys. I know for a fact if you didn't like Fast 1 through 9, you're not going to like Fast 10. It's as simple as that. Come on. So
nice. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited about I'm gonna keep firing out these Wii watches. I'm hoping to do Commando next week, and Mario Brothers should be released with Kyle Posey like anytime in the next day or two.
Oh, nice.
And I want to do my first, like, this month, you know, I'm at the halfway year mark, you know, so I'm trying to like start promoting the channel now that I have amassed all this fucking content. And it's just like, I want to start, do my first analysis video, talk about Renfield versus Innocent Blood. And just go there from there, and hopefully we'll do this again in a year from now.
By this time next year, by this next annual like anniversary thing, I predict
69. I said my anniversary 69. So
I predict it's gonna be well over.
Just like Alan from Film Fred.
Let's hopefully by a year from now we can compare the two streams. And
so
just
I'm gonna ask you guys, if I hit end broadcast, is it gonna knock you guys out, or just
no, just stop in.
I don't think so.
Fucking kill it. Kill the stream.
All
kill
right,
it,
guys. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you later. All right.
We love you.